Hi everybody, I'm Tim from troutandfeather.com, and in this fly tying tutorial I'm going to give you a sneak peek of a really cool travel vise called the Stonfo Airone. Stay tuned. Let me give you an overview of this Stonfo travel vise. We're going to concentrate on the upper section right now. As we work up the stem, there's an adjustment, and with this adjustment I can raise or lower the height of the vise, which is really nice depending on your height, and especially where you're traveling to, and if you're in a spot where it may not be the most comfortable, you can kind of fine-tune this to you. Next, you can use the Allen key that comes with this, and opposite of where I'm tapping, so on my side, if I would unscrew, I can then change the angle at which this sits. Currently I have it angled up just a little bit from parallel, but I can also make it parallel, which will relate to this next adjustment. And that's from this right here. If I would unscrew this, I can then rotate the jaws 360 degrees. So there definitely are a few adjustments you can make, but speaking of the jaws, I'll just kind of show you the jaws right now. This is called the Stonfo 2 set of jaws. They really consider this suitable for any type and size of hooks, and I tend to agree. I'm probably going to leave these ones in there. But if you take a peek right here, you can actually remove these, and there's another set of jaws that they sell. It's called the Stonfo 1 set, and that's really ideal for very small to medium sized flies. So if you're really going to be tying smaller flies and you want a little finer set, you can just swap those out and purchase them. And the nice thing about these jaws that come with this, these are the jaws that are found in the Stonfo Elite series of vices. So it's telling you right now that they're a higher quality jaw than you'll find in most other vices out there, especially from a travel perspective. Now, to show you how this vise works, I'm going to change the angle just a bit so you can see this. I'm going to first lower the lever. So I'm looking at it from my perspective. This is how I would have it. The lever is lowered, and then with this set screw, I'm going to open or close the jaws until I can get a hook inside, and once I have a hook in there, I would tighten until it's snug, and then I would take the lever and I would rotate it up. So it sits basically like this, but from my side. And that's really all there is to it. So now let me tighten things up a bit, and I'm going to show you what this vise looks like with a few hooks inside of it. We're going to start with the dry fly hook. This is a Honik H130BL. It's a size 18, so this is a smaller one. I'm not going to worry about it being perfectly straight. So whenever I tighten, you can now see there is no play whatsoever. That hook will bend if I put any significant pressure on it. Next, we'll kind of work our way up to some larger hooks. I'm going to go up to a Czech nymph hook. This is a Honik H333BL. It's a size 14. Once it's tightened, same as before, you can see I'm putting a lot of pressure on this hook. No movement at all inside the jaws. And then finally, I'm going to open the jaws, and we're going to go with a streamer hook. This is the Honik H970BL. It's a size 6, so this is definitely a bigger one. Let me tighten it up. And now you can see it definitely bending. Jaws are holding nice. I'll give you an idea of what this looks like from the top angle and from a 360. Tighten this back up. Let me remove that hook. And that's just a brief overview of this Stonfo Airone. I'm going to change the camera angle. I'm going to talk a little bit more about it. I'm not going to give my formal opinion on it yet, and I'll talk why I'm not going to do that yet here just in a minute. But I want you to see a close-up of this vise. I want you to see exactly what it looks like, understand a few of the components, and give you a better idea if this is something that you're interested in purchasing in the future. So now let's change the camera angle and talk a little bit more about it. Now that you've seen this vise up close, let's kind of talk a little bit more about it. I'll show you a few more things, but I really want to stress that this is just a sneak peek video. I have yet to make a formal recommendation one way or the other with this vise, simply because I haven't been tying on it for an extended period of time. I received it late 2017 and it's early 2018. With that said, let's talk about it. So when you first get this, it comes in a little plastic container. Looks kind of like a large cell phone case or a small tablet. It's about 4.5 by 6 inches. There are directions inside. Definitely read those. I neglected to. And when you pull the vise out, you'll see it's a plastic base, and the components, as you probably saw earlier, appear to be metal and possibly aluminum. And there's also a hex wrench that you'll need for one or two adjustments. To put it together, it's pretty simple, and I probably shouldn't try doing this while talking on the video, but you simply pull this piece up. There's a stem that we turn counterclockwise once you have it aligned in the center. So you see it's kind of flexible here. And then there's, in that point where it's flexing, there's a spot where I can tighten it with that hex wrench. Once I have that tightened, there's one or two more things. This top one turns clockwise, and then right now it's loose and it's able to be adjusted. But at the time I initially put this together, that was tightened. And it was really funny because I originally had this sitting out at my table during the International Fly Tying Symposium in 2017. And as people were walking by, they were intrigued by it because it was a vise they hadn't seen before. So a few people came up and we were just talking about it, and I was asking for their early thoughts just by looking at it. And one of the early comments that was made was that they were surprised that the vise head was kind of, we'll say, closer to the base level. And sure enough, we started playing around with it, and we realized that it's adjustable. We can slide it up and change that position. So keep in mind that whenever I initially think about a travel vise, I think about this vise that's not really easy to manipulate. Kind of, it's a catch-all, it's a one-size-fits-all type deal. And this one, just on first appearances, is definitely not that. You have the ability to change it around a little bit. You saw some of its features when I was tying on it, and I really want to comment that it's definitely a quality tool. Whenever I think about the head that Stonfo used, it's one of their better heads. It definitely can tie a very nice range of flies. So keep all that stuff in mind. The other comment that I heard from a lot of individuals at the symposium related to its weight. Some people were surprised that it wasn't heavier, and some were surprised that it wasn't lighter. And personally, I think that Stonfo's kind of found the right balance for this. It's heavier. When you first pick it up, it's not a lightweight vise. It's not something that you think is, I don't want to say cheap, but it doesn't have that cheap feel because, again, all these materials are quality. And then I believe, and this is just my opinion, I think they decided they wanted to keep its weight a little bit down, hence that's why they went with the plastic base. So people initially, when they picked it up, some people were saying, geez, it'd be nice if it had a heavier base, but from my opinion, that probably would take away from its kind of ability to be a little bit more mobile or travel friendly. So keep all that stuff in mind. I don't have the weight, but if you'd like the weight, don't hesitate to email me or leave a comment down below, and I'll be happy to get that to you. Taking this thing back down is very simple. There's the initial adjustment, which will lower this first piece. Then I'm going to go back to my hex wrench. And now it's kind of like a robot arm in a sense. And then there's the main stem. I just turn that counterclockwise and just lay this thing down. And I'll show you what it looks like, and that's it. So we're talking, it takes seconds. I'm able to make a video and kind of, we'll say, get it back packed together all in one swoop, which I kind of impressed myself doing that. I had a feeling that it was going to go really poorly. I'm not going to tell you how many takes this, or how many cuts this took, but we'll just pretend this is my first cut. So with all that said, that is the Stonfo Airone. I don't know if I'm saying that correct. It's spelled A-I-R-O-N-E. If you have any questions or comments about this, please let me know. I'm just doing a quick online search, again, in early 2018. I'm seeing the price for this is around $200. You can find it in the United States. I see it for sale on eBay as well, and there's definitely a lot of European sellers because Stonfo's out of Italy. But again, don't hesitate to shoot me any questions, and I'd love to hear your comments down below in the comments section. Well, thank you everyone for watching this fly tying tutorial on this Stonfo travel vise. If you have questions or comments, you can email me at tcammisa@gmail.com. And if you'd like to watch more videos like this, just check out my website, which is troutandfeather.com. When you're there, if you scroll down the homepage, you can enter your email address, and I'll just send you out occasional email updates about new videos, appearances, and shows and stuff like that. If you're into social media, Trout and Feather can be found on both Instagram and on Facebook. Once again, thank you so much, everybody. And again, let me know what you think about the Stonfo Airone.